Hey there, I'm Dr. Ruth Roberts. I hope you are all having a very, very happy 4th of July and enjoying and relaxing this morning. I hope that your pets did not get too freaked out last night from fireworks. Little Hayo had had lots of CBD and melatonin, and she actually did really great last night, so we were happy about that. She was not so anxious. So for that, we are very happy. So we've got a number of questions today, and I'm just going to jump over to the page for the Croc Pet group. And first of all, welcome Heather, Elisa, Jill, Joanna, and Tiffany. We're so happy you were able to join us and hope you'll have time to be able to participate in these weekly broadcasts on how to use the Croc Pet diet and how to adjust it for your pet's best health. So don't have too many questions today, and May's got one up there in the comments, so that's great. I'll get there in just a second. So Deb's asking about clean teeth. And so Deb, if Zeno is not sensitive to beef, and I know Zeno is a larger breed dog, so Deb's always had Italian Spinonis, and so I think that's probably what our friend Zeno is. Yeah, and so what I would suggest, if he is not sensitive to beef, is to use actually raw beef bones, and that's pretty easy to find in the in any of the butchers, grocery stores, things like that, because people have gotten back to using them for mostly making bone broth. But most of the bones are pretty well stripped of any meat, fat, things of that nature, so they are great to let them chew on. What I would suggest is to let them stay frozen, offer them to Zeno, let him chew for 3 to 4 or 5 minutes, get some chewing in there. Do take it away so he doesn't end up hurting his jaw. And then just gradually increase the time. Once all of the marrow has been kind of cleaned out by the chewing, licking, etc., then it's okay to leave the bone out of the freezer. Another thing you could try would be, I've had people that had to use just plain whole carrots, as long as he is actually chewing and not just trying to swallow whole. Plaque off is always a good choice. And I cannot remember the name of the species of kelp, but you can buy that much more inexpensively than the plaque off product. But chewing is a really good idea, and especially if you're seeing those back teeth look a little coated. Now, the other thing to consider is that if he is, sort of a normal dog eating regular good food, you might also think that maybe the microbiome is not super happy, and so that's where you might want to introduce a probiotic if you have not already. But there's plenty of chewing options out there that are not expensive. For Hayo, you've probably seen those yak cheese chews, and those are great for these little guys. So we're gonna let a little chunk of Parmesan kind of dry out and see how that goes. It's a little salty, but we'll see. Kathy asked about raw chicken and turkey necks, and I think that's okay, but again, you want to watch what your dogs are doing. Are they chewing them really, really well? So Deb, this is another option too. You again give them frozen, give them maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes for the first time, and then start slow. So what I would say is, just as Sita is suggesting below, it's a normal thing for dogs to do. So the concern is if they break off big chunks and swallow them whole, they can be a problem. I'm not so worried about the salmonella and that kind of the bacterial contamination, because you frankly are more at risk of getting that than through a bag of dry food than from raw food. So I hope that's helpful, but Kathy, I would just start slow. You guys are sort of 40 or 50 pounds, I think, so turkey neck is going to be a better option. But go slow, and make sure everything's okay. And lots is not good, because all of that bone calcium is going to sort of unbalance the diet a bit. So again, little bits is a treat. but not maybe 5 or 10 pounds a week of turkey necks, if that makes sense. And then Pam is asking about grapeseed oil. So it is confusing because it was like, this is the best thing in the universe. It is the very best oil, and then all of a sudden it's not. And here is the two things. Yes, you want to buy some hexane-free or expeller pressed or something like that, just so there's not chemicals in the oil. The concern on the human side is that if you cook with it, then it can create these chemicals called PUFAs, and they are considered to be carcinogenic. Now, because of what you all are doing is essentially adding this once the food is cooled down, there's no risk of any of those chemicals developing. So I think you're in good shape there. And then Pam mentioned that Rescue Remedy also works for fireworks. And frankly, sometimes it does, but I would say that, I think for people that have more of that bent for homeopathic medicines, that seems to work better. But for the vast majority of people that were using it, I would say maybe 1 out of 100 dogs it worked for consistently. So fireworks are melatonin in my hands, melatonin, CBD, excuse me, those have been kind of the most effective and sort of quick and down and dirty. And then, obviously if your dog has really profound fear of loud noises, then other medications might be involved. So there's 5 of you on. If you've got questions, jump them in, because this is all the questions I've got in the group. I will double check the sheet Hannah sent over, but it looks like it's just the questions from Kathy and Deb. So that's all I got for you this week. So we are going to be back again next week. So keep the questions rolling in, and we'll see where we are. And until next week, remember, your pet's best health starts in the bowl. Many thanks. I'm Dr. Ruth Roberts, your pet's ally.